Hello everyone and happy Wednesday. I am jumping in here with our Wednesday Wellness Q&A. I know I'm a bit early today, but that's just the way the schedule goes. And I want to thank Sue for sending me this question in Messenger. And as I've mentioned to you guys before, the more information you give me, the more I can help. So this was her question. So this goes out to her and to all of you. So her question was, a little more specific than the question I put her, but here her doctor told her she should not take estrogen if she was still having a period. So meaning she was still in perimenopause, so was only willing to prescribe her progesterone. So I want to clear up this common myth when it comes to HRT, your doctor, your menopause, right? And I see it in a lot of other groups besides what Sue said to me, right? This idea that if you're still having periods, you can't take estrogen. And it is simply not true. It is not based in medical protocols. It is not based in science. And let's just remember here, because again, sometimes you have to remind your doctor of these certain terms. Menopause itself, we use the word two ways. We call the entire transition menopause. But then realistically, menopause itself is one day. It is the day that you have gone, the 1 year mark since your last period. And that really means you go from perimenopause, which is when all your symptoms are starting, but you haven't gone a year yet without your period. And then when you go that year, full year, 12 months right in a row, that one day is considered the day of menopause. And then from that day forward, you are post-menopausal for the rest of your life, right? Because our hormones never go back after. But your hormones, when you're in perimenopause, right, are fluctuating all over the place. And they are fluctuating and declining long before your final cycle. It's not like the day that you hit actual menopause, it's like a switch goes off and then you have less estrogen. It does not work that way. So why does it happen this way? Well, because a lot of doctors are not trained very well, unfortunately. They were trained to look at periods like an on and off switch, right? So like if you were having periods, that meant you were still fertile, and no periods meant menopause. And that makes it easier for them to say in their own mind, come back when your cycles stop. But that leaves a huge gap for women in perimenopause when they're suffering for years without support. Your symptoms don't wait for the calendar. They don't wait for the 12 months, and your medical care shouldn't either, right? And your choice to do HRT is always a very personal choice. It's not your doctor's decision. It is your decision, right? Your doctor can offer a recommendation, but it's your choice, right? And what really matters in this whole perimenopause time is not your lab results, not your hormone levels, but it's your symptoms, your hot flashes, your night sweats, your mood swings, your brain fog, your sleep issues. Those are signs that your hormones are shifting. And you do not need to wait until you have gone that consecutive 12 months if you want to explore what hormone replacement therapy or menopause hormone therapy, HRT or MHT, how it affects you. You do not have to wait. Any doctor that tells you that does not know the menopause guidelines, unfortunately. So the standard protocol, this is per the Menopause Society, which used to be called the North American Menopause Society, but now it's the menopausesociety.org. It is the governing body here in our country that sets the standards for menopause. According to them, the gold standard isn't about waiting until your period stops before you can take estrogen. The standard approach, if you want to explore taking menopause hormone therapy, is to start with the lowest effective dose of estrogen. And if you have a uterus, that's alongside progesterone at the lowest effective dose to protect it. Even if you don't have a uterus, a lot of women will opt in for progesterone based on symptoms. There's still a lot of talk around that. But the standard protocol, regardless of your hormone levels, regardless of your period status, is the lowest effective dose to start, and then check in on symptom management as time goes on. Right? I'm not going to get into, exactly how long it will be. Some doctors are going to look at a 90-day mark. Some are going to check in on a 30-day mark. But this idea that you can't have either full hormone therapy or you can't have estrogen because you're still having periods, total lie, total baloney. And if your doctor says it, I apologize. That means your doctor is not up to speed. So you might want to look elsewhere, whether it's a gynecologist versus your primary care. I mean, in my experience, from most of my clients, endocrinologists, unfortunately, even though they are hormone specific doctors, are not more well versed in menopause, whether you look for more of a menopause specialty type doctor, whether it's an online or in person. But you should be able to ask your doctor about taking hormone replacement therapy. Now, of course, there are some guidelines. If you've had issues with breast cancer, if you've had cancer issues, right? Like, so I'm not saying this is across the board, but what I do want to tell you is if your doctor says you can't take estrogen because you still have periods, your doctor doesn't know their shit, right? So anyway, your doctor does not follow some nice neat little calendar, right? It doesn't wait until your last period to start needing support. Don't let anyone tell you you have to suffer through years of symptoms before you qualify for help. Now, is my recommendation always going to be, even if you do decide to go with HRT, to be doing other things alongside of it, because you're going to need to do that with how you eat, how you manage stress, how you're living everyday life? Absolutely. But the choice, the decision around HRT, it's yours to make, ladies. So if you've had an experience like this with your doctor, I would love to hear about it. I would love for you to drop any of the stuff your doctor might have said to you regarding menopause that you now know is like completely off the charts, completely wild, completely not true. Because I think the more we bring this out in the open, not to shame our doctors, they're doing what they think is right, but they just don't know. As women, I want you all to be able to feel confident in advocating for yourself in your own doctor's office, right? And knowing what your choices are, right? Your doctor doesn't decide if you take HRT. That is your decision. Even if you recommend it, it's still your decision. And he doesn't get to tell you no because you're in perimenopause, because he doesn't know or she doesn't know their shit. So anyway, that's what I got for you guys today. Don't forget, the Menopause Method Workshop starts on Monday. We're going to be talking about what works for your menopause body. I'm going to be talking about all the things to do to help you with weight loss and minimizing symptoms besides hormone therapy, right? So whether you're taking hormone therapy or you're not taking it, this is all the other stuff that you're still going to need to do anyway, right? And I really want to focus this time around how to eat for real life, because I see this happening over and over again. Everyone's like, what's a meal plan I should follow? What's a diet I should follow? What should I eat for breakfast? You have got to know that you have got to take whatever guidelines you're using and know how to integrate them into your life. A meal plan is not the answer. If you're dealing with stress cravings at 7 o'clock at night every single night, a meal plan doesn't teach you how to deal with it. You've got to learn how to work with yourself, your own present eating habits, and how to change them the way you want to go, right? You can't just follow someone else's plan. You've got to be supporting your hormones, supporting everything in your real life. So if you have not signed up for that yet, comment link and I will drop the link for you. So you can get yourself signed up. That is on Monday. And if you sign up, you get all the replays, the recap, and you get a bonus resource tool every single day that will help you actually implement. Because you guys, knowledge is only this much of it. Implementation, taking action, that's where all the good stuff happens. So if you've got questions about it, reach out. Please let me know if you have any other questions you want me to cover in these Wednesday Wellness Q&As. Have a good rest of the day.